Hi, I'm Liz Loza, and this is Facts versus Feelings, your amuse-bouche to your fantasy focus main course. We're bringing more fantasy, more facts, more feelings, and of course, more fun. And now that I have your attention, today's fact is that sometimes your second choice can be an upgrade over your first option. Look who it is. Producer Presley is back. Welcome, Dave.
Oh, it feels good to be back, Liz. I had to take a week off. Just one bye week. That's all I needed. But a big thanks to Alex for stepping in while I was away. Let's get it. I'm excited. It was a good week in fantasy.
Yeah, it was a good week in fantasy, and I didn't get a call from the Bristol police station, so I know that you actually stayed out of trouble. So even better for everyone involved. I'm also really excited about this week because we have a cool guest on. Have you heard?
Ooh, I have heard. You want to tell them who it is?
It is my friend who most people know is probably Shades from That Thing You Do. Maybe they know him as Conrad and Jeremiah's dad from the smash hit, The Summer I Turned Pretty. I know him personally, and because we're in a bunch of leagues together. His name is Tom Everett Scott, and he is a joy. So I hope everyone sticks around to hear us chop it up.
Love it. What a humble brag. My friend, I'm in all these leagues with these celebrities. I love it.
Flex when you can, baby.
Well, before we start, please remember, like the video, subscribe to the NFL YouTube channel, the ESPN and NFL YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the NFL YouTube channel, too, if you want. And we have a voicemail line. Liz, hit him with it.
Oh, goodness. Here we go. 914-348-1893. You know what to do after the beep. And Dave, why don't you, on that note, hit the disclaimer.
Fantasy football is a game of inches, luck, and irrational confidence. Proceed with caution, trust your gut, and remember, side effects of listening to this podcast may include spontaneous victory dances, mild trash talking, and the belief that your sleeper pick is better than everyone else's. Take the facts of fantasy football seriously, but consult your feelings before making any lineup changes.
So pick me. Choose me. Love me.
It's week 4, Liz, and we are looking at second choices that can be an upgrade from your first option. This guy, I think, came into the league with so many expectations, didn't really live up to them, but now he's rising from the ashes after taking over from Tom Brady. It's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. It's Baker Mayfield. Hit me.
Baker the Phoenix Mayfield, because indeed he is rising from the ashes. Nothing stops this guy. No one plays with more grit, with a bigger chip on his shoulder. It's a joy to watch, both from a viewing perspective and also as someone who has invested in him in fantasy. Nothing stops this guy. No Liam Cohen, so what? No Tristan Wirfs, not a problem. No Chris Godwin, that's fine. I'll elevate the rookie. And then Mike Evans, one of the most productive wide receivers currently playing the game, exits with a hamstring injury, and Mayfield still posts QB8 fantasy numbers in week 3. Now we know that Evans is going to be out for probably 3-ish weeks. And so you're like, oh my gosh, what more can Mayfield take? Can he keep this up? Can he keep being a fantasy starter at the position? And I would say yes, because the data bears out that Baker has done it before. Last season, when Evans and Godwin both missed time for roughly 4 weeks, he averaged nearly 19 fantasy points per game. Best part, Tristan Wirfs probably coming back in week 4. His offensive tackle probably going to be there. That's some great protection for him. Chris Godwin might come back in week 4 as well. So he doesn't even have to deal with as many obstacles as we thought. Plus, and you know we love this in fantasy, his rushing production is just buoying his stock. He currently ranks as the QB4 in rushing yards with 116, just behind Jalen Hurts, who has 117. Baker Mayfield is a top 10 fantasy producer at the position, and no one deserves it more.
I love Baker Mayfield, Liz, both in the NFL and in fantasy. I've got him on some rosters. I thought maybe I'd have to be patient, but I don't think so. He's slinging it to Igbuka. Weapons are going to come back. Some patience has been lost on this next player on the list, and that is good old Lad McConkey. What on earth am I supposed to do? Is everyone else supposed to do with Lad moving forward?
Well, I don't know what you can do with him because you've definitely had to lower him in your personal rankings. Like Post Malone says, it's chemical, baby. We warned about this heading into the season. Lad was being drafted at peak value. Everyone thought Keenan Allen was washed and Quentin Johnston was a bust. And now if you look at the targets, Keenan Allen leads the team with 26, Johnston with 24, Lad with 21. That's particularly concerning when you also fold into the the fact that the Chargers are now improbably a pass-happy offense. 75% of the Chargers' total yards have come through the air. That is the fourth most in the NFL. And yet, McConkey has not much to show for it. Now, Najee Harris's absence means that likely Ladd could get some volume, except in week 4, the Chargers are 6.5-point favorites at the Giants. So I think those two things probably cancel out, because how much is Justin Herbert really going to have to throw the ball? As such, I have McConkey ranked just outside of my top 25 wide receivers. Truthfully, I have Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnston and Ladd McConkey all clumped pretty closely together, but Johnston and Allen are just a couple of spots ahead of McConkey at this point.
Yeah, I mean, zero end zone targets so far this season for Ladd McConkey. That is a problem. Another problem, and to be fair, I think you were quite sagacious, Liz, in your preseason prediction of Saquon Barkley. I told you I had a word for you. But you also had a prediction for this next player, and it's kind of fallen short, and you need to invigorate me to realize that it's coming back, and that is Ashton Genty, because we've just not seen it yet. So is it gonna come, or are we just sitting here and this is what we're gonna get for the rest of the year?
I mean, you said sagacious and you had me, and then you asked me to reinvigorate you. So I think one vocab word, the usage of one vocab word cancels out the other one. You did try. So you are right in that I was high on Genty. And personally, I own my mistakes. I also want people to know out there in fantasy land that I take my own advice. I don't just make this up, right? This isn't just clickbait or whatever. I have so many shares of Genty. So I, too, would like to get down to the bottom of this. And here's what I have arrived at. He's logged 47 rushing attempts, which is the same number as Bijan Robinson. The problem, obviously, is that his production has not matched Robinson's. He's, in fact, averaging fewer fantasy points per game than, who saw this coming, Javonte Williams, Chuba Hubbard, and J.K. Dobbins. So when I look at the situation, I have to look at the offensive line, because the Raiders' run-block win rate, which is a stat via Next Gen Stats, is only 65%. That's the worst in the NFL. Meanwhile, Genty has faced defenses that have the second, third, and 11th best run-stop win rate. Here's the silver lining. It's a little bit tricky for me personally, but the Bears rank 22nd at run-stop win rate, which means the Raiders' offensive line isn't likely to crumple as quickly facing Chicago in week 4. The Bears have also allowed the 6th most receptions to opposing running backs, which could mean Genty could regain some footing in the passing game. Now, I am not saying that this is a solve or a complete fix-it. He's obviously not ROIing given where you drafted him in August. However, I do think in week 4, Genty can post RB 16 to 18 numbers given the matchup. It's not fantastic, but if this doesn't work this week, then we really do have to reconsider everything. I am staying patient, though, given the draft pedigree and given the volume.
Well, I also listened to your advice in Fantasyland, Liz, and I have some shares of Ashton Genty. So I am hoping that there is light at the end of the tunnel, because if there isn't, you owe me dinner.
Fair enough. I owe a lot of people dinner these days.
This is a safe place. It's a place where we can feel free sharing our feelings.
All right, let's get comfortable on the couch and dive into Fantasy Therapy. This is the safe space for all of your fantasy football questions, vents, and beyond. Thanks, everyone, by the way, for asking them on social and for calling the voicemail line. I appreciate it. Producer Presley, what do we have this week?
We got a lot. People need the therapy, Liz. So the first one is a question from socials. It's from Alex. He's frustrated with one of his top draft picks. He says, BDJ is underperforming again. Does it get better or no? Lol. Sigh.
So Brian Thomas Jr., 7 grabs on 25 targets. That does not look great. Woof, indeed. The frustrating thing is that we know he can produce. We saw him produce with Mac Jones. This seems to be a Trevor Lawrence problem. The connection between these two does not exist. You see Trevor Lawrence doing commercials with Travis Hunter, and it just feels like maybe this relationship is a little bit on the ice. And then BTJ in the final minutes of week 3 grabs a 46-yard reception and sets up the Travis Etienne touchdown. So we know that he is integral to this offense, and we know that Liam Cohen is motivated to get the ball in his hands. The question is, can Trevor Lawrence do it? So far, not so much, but because we know BTJ's talent is what it is, I am still ranking him as like a middling wide receiver 2. He is my wide receiver 19 heading into week 4 at San Francisco. Some injuries, obviously, for the 49ers. Over-under on this game, 47.5. So that suggests there should be opportunities for Thomas Jr. The question is, can he capitalize? Wide receiver 20 range right now.
Well, our next caller, Liz, is Drew, and he is pissed off at buying the hype.
What's going on, Liz? I'm Drew from Greenville, South Carolina. My feelings are that Bo Nix sucks. There was a lot of preseason hype about Bo Nix. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's in his second year. He's got Sean Payton. Well, you know what, Liz? He's no good, because I'm 0-3. And I took him and Chase Brown, and I'm in the deep, deep depths of you-know-where, Liz. So please, I would love to hear your thoughts on it.
I mean, my thoughts for our friend Drew. My
He
thoughts
needs
are
some
with
therapy.
you, Drew. Yeah, my thoughts are with you, Drew, because that sucks. Like Chase Brown, I'm sure we'll talk more about that later, but he's basically on benches with Jake Browning being what he is right now. As for Bo Nix, he's not scoring the rushing touchdowns that he did at the beginning of last season, and I think those inflated his numbers, frankly. He is still the QB7 in rushing attempts with an average of more than 6 per game, and he is also, this is nice to see, the QB7 in designed runs per game. So we know that that is part of the offensive philosophy in Denver, but from a passing point of view, he's managing a yards per attempt average of 5.6. He's better, downfield in terms of accuracy than he is in the short to intermediate range, but that's because there are all of these like Hail Mary balls, which is not what you want your quarterback to be throwing, right? They should be consistently moving the change. I don't blame you for being discouraged or pessimistic. I don't think, however, you can, unless you have, a better option, stream ahead of him, given the circumstances heading into this week.
Yeah, I feel you, Drew. I got Bo Nix in a few leagues, and it stinks. Next caller, Nick from Idaho. He's got he sounds uneasy about a decision in his backfield.
Hey, Liz, I just saw this post on your Instagram story. My name is Nick. What do I do with my running back space? I have Henderson, and my most important question is, what do I do with Zach Charbonnet? I really kind of saw him taking over as the bell cow by one, and this injury has me feeling very nervous.
Well, I understand those feelings because a foot injury is never good, particularly for a running back. You have 2 players who are in wait and see mode. And unfortunately, time is of the essence here. So your anxiety is well warranted. I will say optimistically, at the time of this recording, Zach Charbonnet was listed as a full participant on Monday's practice and injury report. So at least, again, at the time of this recording, there is optimism that he will start in week 4. Of course, there is always the chance that he could regress. We don't know how much of the field he will see. We know, obviously, Kenneth Walker III dominated in week 3. What I would try to do, honestly, depending on your record, I'm assuming it's not a winning record because you're asking these questions, see if there is somewhere else in your roster that you could package a trade to buy low on a player like Ashton Genty, who we talked about at the top of the show, or maybe even Travis Etienne, whose stock has dipped with Bajal Tutin's stock rising and the hype around, the backup in Jacksonville. So I would try to package a buy low offer so that you can buy yourself some time while Charbonnet hopefully heals and Henderson doesn't keep getting stuck in the doghouse. But I get it. Anxiety is warranted. Good luck.
I'd like to apologize, Nick, for Liz assuming that you have a losing record. Jesus, come on, you could still be winning. Next social question. It's from Hal. He wrote in with a question that I'm sure a lot of people have, and that is, Chase Brown was a big keeper for me. Does he still have a chance to go big even without Burrow?
Big no, friend. It is not great. Like, this is a situation where the quarterback is directly tied to the running back's value. I don't think that Chase Brown, I know earlier I said you got to put him on benches. I have him ranked as my RB24 heading into the week, but it's not great. I'm not going to assume you're going to get a burst of production. I think we have to manage our expectations and assume the worst here and find some other options and get uncomfortable with either just flexing him or potentially sitting him based on the rest of your roster.
Last question, Liz, and for the sake of all of our jobs here, I hope the answer is no. This one comes in from Bob, and it says, should I find a new hobby?
No, Bob, this is part of the journey. This is part of the fun. You know what? You can never feel comfort without knowing discomfort. I read that somewhere like in my 3rd grade on a poster in my teacher's, classroom. So I have always remembered it. You have to keep going. And you know what? Things may be bad right now, but nothing is permanent, as we've discussed. And I promise you that delight is around the corner eventually.
Love it. That will be it for Fantasy Therapy. Thank you for sending everything in, folks. Please continue to hit the voicemail line. Hit Liz up on socials with questions. And Liz, what was that voicemail number again?
It is 914-348-1893.
So proud of you.
Thank you. Now it's time to welcome our special guest. You might know him as Shades from That Thing You Do, or Conrad and Jeremiah's dashing, but not so nice, dad from The Summer I Turned Pretty. I know him as competition in a guillotine league, among others, because around here, he is not just Hollywood. He is a legitimate fantasy football player who sweats his lineups just like the rest of us. Please welcome to the show my friend, Tom Everett Scott. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Liz.
How are you? What was that little giggle?
I'm great. Oh, I'm like, wow, we're in 3 leagues together. If you count Scott Fish.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, you are tough competition.
You are so nice. I did miss that we didn't get to draft together. Normally, you, me, James Roday, and our friend Garrett Lerner all travel down to Orange County and draft for the Scott Fish Bowl Live together.
That's
but
right.
You were working. You were out of town working on the Legally Blonde prequel, I believe, right?
That's right. In Vancouver, where I actually did my live draft for Scott Fish up there.
Yeah, and I ended up going to Vegas because that's where Scott wanted me to go, and we had a great time. And Garrett was in Atlanta working on his show. He's a writer-producer. And James did his... We're all blessed because not many people in our industry and your industry and the way they intersect between the two of our industries are as lucky. So hashtag blessed forever. Let's keep it rolling, and hopefully this show doesn't fall off the rails and isn't the end of everything.
Let's hope. Let's pray.
We could sit here and chat forever. We should probably talk fantasy because I'm not sure that the viewers care about us catching up. We should actually do that now that you're done traveling and I'm home from Connecticut for a minute. Let's grab a beer or whatever.
Yes, please.
But I want to ask you, who is the most famous person in your phone? And if you were to call them, they would actually answer.
Wow. Okay. So that's the stipulation. Someone I could call that would answer my call.
Yes.
And famous, I mean, that's all so relative.
Well, to you.
I mean, there's some famous people on my phone. Gosh, who could I call right now? I don't know.
How about Dolly Parton?
Oh, I wish. Oh,
you don't have to call them. Also, you don't have to call them. I'm just asking who in theory. I'm not making you do it.
Oh my gosh. She is the incredible, like, it's like, I saw this thing online where somebody said like Tom Hanks or Dolly Parton, and like Dolly just wins all the time. I love Tom, but Dolly all the time.
I forgot about Tom Hanks. Yeah, Tom Hanks for you. That's a big one.
At baseball games. We go to Dodger games together because the Playtone company has a suite at Dodger Stadium, and so I should take you. You should come with me. That would be fun.
I would love to go to. So the Cubs, that's my team, just clinched. If the Dodgers clinched, we could go to a Cubs, theoretically, Dodgers game. I'm sure those tickets are out of hand. Regardless, I'll go to any Dodger game with you and Tom Hanks because I have a lot of things to ask Tom Hanks. That's a whole nother episode. Viewers will understand
you have to
what I
behave
mean.
yourself. I can't, don't scare me off.
You know that Tom and I are friends when he immediately was like, hold on, who am I talking to? You have to behave yourself. Okay, so when you're on set, being the hardest working DILF in Hollywood currently, how do you manage injuries and the waiver wire and all of those things? Because you are like a legit fantasy addict in the best way
I
possible?
think so. I mean, I used to have 12 teams. Now I'm down to 9. And this is like managed leagues.
Yeah.
It's too much. I will say I've been lucky lately because my shows have been filming in the summer. And by the fall, I'm home. So it's normal. But I have had to do this while I've been on set. It's kind of better to be on set sometimes because I have only the job to worry about and not like home and things and, other distractions. Like it's hard for me to set a lineup sometimes when I'm here because there's actually more going on here than on set.
Yeah, you've got your kids and your dog, and I know that you've mentioned your wife doesn't love the 12 to 9
Hates
leagues. Yeah.
Hates it.
But if you're on set, she's not looking over your shoulder being like, can you please put your phone away?
That's right. I remember one time I was in Toronto and I was trying to make something happen and I was like on my phone trying to pick someone up off the waiver wire or something like that. And they were like calling, like rolling, I might have even missed action because I was on my phone trying to pick something. I mean, it was, yeah. I wasn't proud of it.
But I appreciate that because that like makes you so much more relatable and it gives you credibility. So as I ask you these next questions, it's not just like, oh, they're stunt casting this episode of Facts versus Feelings with Liz's friend. Like you're in it. And so because you're in it, I need to know who has been the biggest problem for you on the majority of your leagues. Understanding, right, that you have, of course, diversified your teams, but there's probably a couple of players that you picked a lot of places, and who has been like the biggest thorn in your side thus far?
I mean, it's got to be Trevion Henderson, who I spent a couple, third round picks on in a couple of leagues. I'm just kind of waiting for that to happen, maybe with those fumbles by Ramondre and Gibson in the last game. Maybe that'll open the door for him a little bit more, but definitely him.
So conversely, who has been your most pleasant surprise this season?
I think in my one league that is probably my favorite league, I'm the commissioner. It's my best friends. It's my brother-in-law, my father-in-law. It's like just the most fun league I'm in. And the stakes are high because the loser each year has to pay for dinner the next year where we all get together and do a rules and regulations meeting. And that's usually pretty steep. You just don't want to come in last. And
where
my
would you
favorite
go for
player,
that? Like, are you going to are you going to Mastro's? Where are we heading?
Okay, so no, we usually take it kind of easy on the loser. We go to like a Brew Works or a place where you just order a bunch of beer and get a bunch of pizzas and stuff like that. But there is talk of maybe if it's someone we don't like in the league that we go to a steakhouse.
Okay, I like
like
this.
a big
I like
complainer
this
might get penalized. Yeah, but Dobbins has been really nice in that league.
J.K. Dobbins has been quite a surprise. And so many people expected R.J. Harvey, the rookie, to just have that job. And then Dobbins, who was coming off of this improbable comeback in Los Angeles and theoretically cast aside. I mean, Sean Payton also is a tricky guy. I have loved to see this. The continued comeback story for Dobbins. And I also appreciate that you were seeking value when you picked him up. That's a great strategy. Good for you.
I actually was thinking about it like he would be somebody I could plug into the flex while I'm waiting for Rashee Rice to come off suspension because I had picked up Rashee Rice.
Okay.
And he is working out as my RB2 because I'm waiting for Trevion Henderson to get more usage.
Even better. So that is a wonderfully pleasant surprise. See, that's the kind of the theme of this whole episode. We are in week 4, so I have to ask you, who are you? Now, I don't like to say favorite sit because you're not excited to sit anybody, but who is the sit that you are the most confident putting on a bench?
Colston Loveland, I was expecting to do more, and I sat him in favor of like Dallas Goedert. I think Loveland now he's hurt, but like he was like a confident sit after week 1. Somebody like that.
That's a big name. All right, let's not dwell on the negative then. So in week 4, who are you most excited to start?
Oh man, we're gonna go back to like Trevion Henderson. I mean, I'm hoping that something happens. But like Egbuka, I'm
Yeah.
excited to start him. Even though I've been starting him, I think now that Evans is out, I think he's going to explode.
I think he's incredible. I mean, him coming out of Ohio State, he was comped to Jackson Smith and Jigba, his former teammate, quite a bit. And the parallel was that he was such a professional route runner. He had incredibly advanced technique. And you've seen that really translate in Tampa Bay. Like, there's not been this rookie plateau. He's really caught on. So I'm excited. He was also one of my favorite under the radar guys heading into this season. So it's almost like you might listen to the show or take some of my advice and drafted him on a good number of your leagues.
Absolutely. I mean, I follow you on Instagram. I'm up to date on your advice.
Well, I am up to date on your life too. But do you want to play a game?
Sure.
Okay, let's play a game. This game is called Blind Resume. I'm going to read you a few notes about a person, and you're going to take a shot at figuring out who they are. Warning, they may or may not be an NFL player, so think open-mindedly.
Okay.
Okay. This quarterback, that's a giveaway, has unexpectedly been leading his team in rushing yards and touchdowns, all while his popularity has soared to amazing heights. He's managed 223 passing yards per game, 3 touchdown passes, and leads his team with 125 rushing yards, to be exact.
This is either Justin Herbert or Daniel Jones.
It is neither. I appreciate you playing along. It is surprisingly Patrick Mahomes.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes running around all over the place. Not really what you expect. And we know he's mobile, but he's been running like crazy because, I don't know, Travis might be a little bit washed and the rest of the pass catchers are not really connecting. So this is the next gen, the current at least version of the Chiefs that we're dealing with. All right. Next up, despite being looked at by some as a potential 2025 breakout, this desert dweller has underperformed so far this year, and having slippery fingers in big spots hasn't helped any. He also might have NFL bloodlines that encouraged people to draft him in his rookie season.
I believe that's Marvin Harrison Jr.
It is Marvin Harrison Jr. He has 10 grabs for 142 yards and 1 touchdown on just 17 targets, plus those 2 big drops last week at San Francisco did not endear him to his fantasy managers.
No, I don't think I was trusting him at all. I think it's McBride's offense there, and now we're going to see. I think we're going to see how good Trey Benson is.
Yeah. I agree. All right, next one. This guy learns that when you're on an international trip, falling for the wrong girl can have some hair-raising consequences.
Is this my character in American Werewolf?
I believe you played Mr. Andy McDermott?
Yeah.
Yes. There's what? You did it. We should have a sound effect. Ding, ding, ding. You nailed it. Yes, that is your character in An American Werewolf in Paris, which was set to be your star turn, right?
I shot that thing you do before American Werewolf, so
you were on your way. Yes.
I was, yeah. I don't know why I did the werewolf movie. I just had never been to Europe. And they offered it to me, so I was just so excited to be offered a job and then go to Paris. I will never do a movie where they stick so much sticky cold stuff to my face. It's just I hate that.
No more. Well, wait a second. What if the MCU comes calling? Because that could be some interesting stage makeup.
That's true. No, those guys. I mean, it's just such a. Who's the guy who plays Vision? I mean, he's complained. Paul Bettany. He's complained about that process. Oh, no thanks.
Well, nobody in fantasy is complaining about this next player. That's a clue. He was overlooked at first in his career, but he's leading the league in both catches and yards. 29 receptions, 333 yards. That's an angel number. No touchdowns yet, but also 35 targets through 3 games. Who is it?
Oh man, I feel like I should know this. It's not Neighbors. He's got a touchdown. Is this a wide receiver?
It is a wide receiver. And I will also say that he is a bit of a hometown hero for us Los Angelinos.
Oh, is it Puka?
It is Puka Nacua. Obviously not from Los Angeles originally, but...
You know what? It's like the Puka thing. I love him so much, and I've had him on my teams. I kept Neighbors instead of him in a keeper league, and
Same.
I passed over him. I took Nico Collins in 2 leagues over Puka.
This is what I did as well. In my Rainn Wilson league with Garrett Lerner and I co-manage in the Rainn Wilson league, and I kept, we kept Neighbors instead, and then drafted Collins at trying to find value, trying to work the budget, the fab budget a little bit, and oh well. All right, this one is our last one. This person is best known for crossing the European countryside on a mission, facing down modern-day pirates and impressive displays of stamina. This actor also starred as an executive and kingmaker in the music business.
Wait, so this has to be someone who was an
He
executive.
also might have had a very close relationship with a volleyball at one point.
This is Tom Hanks.
Yes, this is the most famous person in your phone. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Is it one of the characters that he played? No, that's just him.
I mean, it could be. I mean, it's supposed to be Mr. White from That Thing You Do, right? He's the kingmaker in the music business.
That's right. Oh, man, that's so funny.
And a kingmaker in Hollywood as well, because look at you now, coming on Facts versus Feelings. Would you ever imagine your career would be here?
It's been a dream. It's been a dream to get back on the Zoom with you. I love this. I love talking football.
Will you tell everybody where they can find all of your work, where they should follow you and the various shows that you're working on?
Absolutely. I'm on Instagram, Tom Everett Scott. My show, Summer I Turned Pretty, is going to come back with a movie after this final season. And I'm on a new show called Elle, which is the Legally Blonde prequel, which will be premiering next summer. I'm going to text you. I'm going to text you incessantly. You should probably put your phone on Do Not Disturb, because when Elle comes out, the elder millennial in me will be completely destroyed. There will be so much pink popcorn, boas, the whole thing. I almost wore a pink shirt that says I'd rather be watching Days of Our Lives. That was a gift from the from the actress who played young Elle.
That is incredible. Tom, you are incredible. And next time we go out, I'm asking you to please wear that shirt, even if it's just for a quick selfie. Deal?
You got it. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, Tom. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Appreciate you joining us.
Last call.
Today we learned that producer Dave has apparently downloaded a Word of the Day app, that I'm going to a Dodgers game with Tom Hanks, and that sometimes the best option has been hiding in plain sight. So we can choose to remain stubborn and locked in on the story we initially told ourselves, or we can admit that we tripped and need some unexpected help getting upright again. Big thanks to Tom Scott for calling in and playing along, and to producer Dave for being my option A, at least this week. Remember, you can check out my Facts versus Feelings column for week 4 that is currently live on the .com, and you can also leave us a voicemail message. That number is 914-348-1893. Nailed it. Until next time, may your facts be solid, your feelings be right, and your bus be someone else's problem. Right, but he was to the Browns. Oh, he has become an underbrown. He has become an underbrown. First of all, David, well job. Well job.
Look at this.
Phone number, man. Yes, Dave. Yes. Stretch, babe.
6 out of 10.
Hi, Liz. It's Liz. Actually, I was just calling to make sure that I posted the right number in my Instagram stories, because I can't remember it to save my life, lady. All right. Anyway, hi, Producer Alex, or Producer Adrian, or Producer Presley. I think you guys are great. Bye.